Good evening and welcome to SGDC. SGDC stands for Spelkollektivet Game Developers Conference. It is a place where we show our stuff. We are Spelkollektivet, a co-living, co-working environment in the south of Sweden, the only one in the world of that kind. Very specifically a Swedish one. No, the only one in the entire world. So every week we share the stuff that we're working on as indie developers or parts of larger teams in game development. And the first person to show their stuff... Oh wait, I have to say who I am. Yeah, with your lactose free. Well, I haven't had that much milk today. Host Brian. Yeah. I always get this shit out of order. First person to present is someone who's been disappearing off our topics list multiple times in a row every week, for whatever reason, but decided to stick around this time. It's Paulina! Good job.
I love you.
I will now delete my topic live.
And then walk away.
Ends the stream.
So, I've deleted my topic like 5 weeks in a row, and today I have combined the presentations into like a Frankenstein thing that I think is sorta in order that things happened, but not really. So we'll see how this goes. Shit. So I made the first character for the game. It is the skeleton. He spins and he talks. I did this as sort of an experiment to decide, like, okay, I'm low poly, but how low poly? And I decided that somewhere around here is like, if it's more detailed than this, it's illegal. No, this is the limit. And I also spent some time making a what are they called? A color palette, and you know how big the textures are and all that stuff. I made a bunch of props, all the wood and metal stuff, blah blah blah, books, something. I think I had something to say here. I've forgotten, but look, the chest is animated. I started importing stuff in Unity, and I immediately thought, wow, this looks a bit bad. I don't like this at all. Oh yeah, shout out to Casper. He made a tutorial 2 years ago or something about how to make shadows not look like shit. And I found that when I needed to fix the shadows. Shout out, you know. What did I write here? Yeah, the camera angle, you know, kinda whatever that is called. This angle, I've forgotten. Isometric. Thank you, isometric. Oh yeah, I was chatting with Sebastian, like the Blender Sebastian. I don't remember his name, last name. And he was like, oh, what have you been up to? I'm like, oh, I've been doing this. And I sent him a bunch of assets. And he was like, well, that's cool and all, but I don't know how this looks in a scene or together, so I made this. And he was like, that's pretty cool. He liked the pose for the skeleton. I like it too. He's thirsty. Oh yeah, I was fixing the lighting in Unity, and while flying around in the scene, I coincidentally stopped right here, and I ended up with this very dramatic looking skeleton. So that's very cool. It knows where you live. I made a TikTok with this, with scary music, and it got 1 billion views. If you add like 9 zeros. Yeah, this looked a bit weird when I looked closer, so I added some smoke to it. And now it's all fiery and smoky, and it's like a fancy version of the Minecraft torch, which is nice. And yeah, Unity. The scene looks like this in Unity now. It's getting closer to something that I think does not look bad. And I'm pretty happy with where it's going. Yes, questions?
Hello.
Oh, no.
What is this all a part of? Is this like part of a bigger game project, or is it just improving your art skills and stuff?
I'm doing a idler, cookie clicker type game with Alice. What are they called? Idle game? They're called idler. Yeah. One day, me or Alice will talk about it, but I don't feel like it. So just know it's an idle game. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Next up to talk about not us, it's Andreas.
Shut up!
Sorry, Dad.
So I think this is the third week in a row where I'm going to show you some effects, some visual effects that we're working on. And I'm actually going to start with the one in the game. Excuse me. So the draw pile has gotten clearer. That's part of the feedback we got. That players just want so much information, which is part of why I'm making all the new visual effects. I don't like juice in a card game, but it is good to be clear to the player. So now it's hopefully a little bit more clear how much more you have here. And there's, I did put in the little bit of juice. You can barely notice it probably, but there's some glowy star behind here, and it's booping and bopping around with energy when dealing cards, so that people understand that it's a draw pile. The movement cards have gotten this huge thing in the middle that hopefully should now be clear that this goes from camp into the forest, and the other one was the other way around with the arrow. And they use the same symbol over here. This is the so-called depth meter, how far into the forest you are. So now it's showing a little preview here that you are going deeper, or you will be going deeper. Blah, blah, blah. Just gonna skip forward and go a little bit more. Oh yeah, and here's the other one. Go from the forest back to camp. Movement. And it's gonna be very slow because I've amped up the movement a little bit. So there's still a lot of tweaking of these effects needed, but just give it a sec. Here we go, pick special card, and now you see this is filling up, showing you that this is actually how far you are. You're about, let's say, a third into the forest with adjusted difficulty. So yeah, things are looking slightly different, but it's only been a week. Shut up. Then I've been working on the staff, the little health gems that you have there, the red and the blue. There was a complaint that you don't really notice when stuff is happening down there. So let's see. First I'm going to show you how we now do visual feedback for getting healed. So we're going to lose some gems. This is just for the red, all the examples. We'll lose 5 gems. Whoops. And here's the healing. I'll do it again with 3. Yeah. So hopefully people will be like, oh, healing. Because that's what you do with gems. And finally, the thing that I had the most fun with this week was the damage. Because I'm so mean. And it looks like this. I'm just going to show 1 gem. Reset, and then I'm going to show you all the gems. And then you're dead. Questions about your death? No, questions? Yes, Alice.
Are you gonna have names for the cards eventually?
No. That's a good question though, but it's very intentionally left without text and numbers as much as I can get away with. Yes, Jay.
Why was the damage VFX the most fun for you?
Well, mostly because I seem to hate players, so working on something that will make them shiver in fear made me chuckle to myself evilly when I was working. But also just, I guess, halfway through my visual effects, I usually know, like, I'm dying inside and I just want this to get done, or, oh, I'm having so much fun, I'm going to polish this for hours on end and forget the time because it's... And for some reason, polishing the damage just so... Some sort of nerd thing, you know, when you're having fun doing little effects. Yeah. You and me. Yeah, so thank you.
Right. Next up to talk about his pew-pews, it's Jonatan Balevik.
Yes. It's not that kind of pew-pews. So, no crap today. So yeah, for those who don't know, I'm working on a top-down shooter game with roguelike elements. And last time I showed you my awesome Schu movement. But this is not what I'm going to show you today. Today I'm going to show you enemies that you can shoot. Wow. Really nice. So I already had this in the game, but you have 3 different weapons. You have the fast pew pew, and you have a strong pew pew. That's kind of like a sniper. And then you have the boom boom. Goes boom. But it's kind of boring to not shoot on enemies. So I've added 3 enemies. The first one is kind of like a swarmy enemy that kind of like chases after you if you can find him. Oh, there he is. So it will chase you and then it will dash towards you. And I also worked on some navigation, so but it broke because Unity breaks sometimes. So I'm gonna add a bunch more, and they will kind of like try to chase me as much as they can. And if I sneak away over here, they will jump up, hopefully, yay! And they will try to kill me. But of course I can shoot back and kill them. Wow. But yeah, I had some trouble with Unity stuff, so like they should just walk to me, but sometimes they choose not to walk to me, so that's a thing. And also, yeah, I spawned some new ones. You have the dash thing, and you can also dash to them while they attack and cancel it, and then you will gain delicious ammunition, so you can kill more stuff. And if he will, I'll just kill this one and get an enemy that stands still. So this is the, if I can find him, I'll just spawn a bunch more. So this is kind of like a shooter range thing. So he will shoot at me and just kind of like stand there menacing and look at me, and I can shoot him. And I don't know if you can notice, but maybe this is a bad enemy example. Because I have added a auto aim feature, so like because since I'm jumping around, it's kind of like hard to aim, so it will kind of like try to track and assist me in that sense because I'm bad at aiming. So I thought, you know, it would be nice to have some help. And then I have a third enemy. That's my favorite. There he is. It's like, oh, look at me, I'm going to throw this ball at you. Whoa. And then, of course, I can shoot him as well, and he will run away. I'm like, oh no, don't hit me, I'm going to get you. So yeah, I'll just spawn a bunch of enemies now, and then see what happens. So yeah, the goal is that the small ones will just try to chase you and make you panic, and then you have, yeah, and then you will have to move away, and like, no, please don't kill me. And then, of course, sometimes it will drop health if I dash to them, but it's really low. If I'm lucky, I can like, whoa, get some HP. So yeah, that's the stuff I've been adding. Enemies and like just rounding out the combat thing. So like this is my last week for combat thing, and the next thing I'm going to work on is like the level design and the level visuals, and try to get like it looking nice because now it plays kind of fun. So now I'm going to look nice. So yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Any questions?
Can you talk a bit about like the sort of environment and world that will take place?
Well, that's the thing I will figure out the next week. But I imagine it. I want a lot of vegetations and rocks. I imagine there's a bunch of small islands you jump between, and then there's like old steampunk pipes and brutal stuff with vegetation and just like that kind of environment. And then you run around and there's the corrupted thing, the things you're fighting that's kind of like splattered around. So yeah, I don't know if that's a. You'll see next week.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. Ooh, Brian.
Any plans for any of your enemies to be able to grind along the pipes as well?
Yeah. Since I'm taking inspiration from a Sunset Overdrive game, they also have a similar thing. So what they do is like, they will chase you and lunge at you, but they also have instances where they will just jump in front of you and stand there. So I imagine these will, in the future, like if I'm grinding along here, and some of them will just jump up on this and stand here, and like, I'm gonna no, stop, and then he will hit me if I get and then I died, just like that. So yes.
The weapon you have already has like a lot of juice to it. So I guess what's the vision for where you see it going in the fun?
I have no idea. I just had an orb. You see the one in the middle there that spawned all the thing, because I saw a lot of like visual stuff that like, they always have an orb shooting VFX out of. Okay, I guess I have to have an orb. And then I added some niblets, I don't know if you call them, on the side, because I thought, what if it's a bow? So it's a work in progress, just like, I'm just making what looks cool and just putting it in, and I'm like, this looks cool. And then I don't just make up secret reasons or like lore reasons, like, that's why it is like that. So yeah, I have no idea. But it looks cool. So James.
Question from the chat. Will you release a demo?
Yes, I will. I don't have a date for it yet, but currently I'm on like a 12-week sprint of sort. Like I want to try to tackle as many of the big gameplay features as possible. So I think the last 4 weeks has been the combat scenario, which I'm doing now, and then at the end of those 12 weeks, hopefully I'll have like a big demo that I can put out. So but don't quote me on that. But at some point. Venta.
Are you making this on your own?
Yes. The back.
Does the order aim also aim in the depth direction, like the height as well?
Yeah, like right now it's not that good at aiming down. Like if I'm all the way up, actually it does. But I basically do an area check and find the closest thing. So it also aims like down. So it's kind of generous.
Cool.
Because I'm bad at aiming. I played a lot of Valorant and I just bottom frag every game, and I was like, I don't wanna I wanna feel good in my own game, So you gotta make the good. Any more questions? Thank you.
Next up, I'm beginning to think he has a game jam addiction. It's Schu. Unless it's the same game. That's great. Keep speaking it.
Alrighty, what's up everyone? I did a game jam this past week. Worked on it for like 5 days. It was Bracky's game jam. Basically I went in with kind of some goals. The game jam itself is a very loose format, so you can like reuse assets and that type of thing. So my idea, since I'm not an art guy, was that I would basically reuse the assets from my main game, Dicey Bird Ball, and try to make a little game where the focus is on hatching eggs, because in Dicey Bird Ball, you hatch a couple of birds throughout the game, but I keep thinking like it'd be cool if there was a game it's just like every egg is like a loot box and you don't know what bird is inside, and like maybe it's fun to crack open a bunch of eggs. So I thought with this game jam it'd be a good opportunity to kind of explore that kind of concept. Maybe make some cool shiny shader birds. I haven't really done shaders, so that would have been fun. And then anything that like any nice like kind of polished things. The plan was I would take them and put them into my main game. I did indeed repurpose the assets. Did not really make good on the loot box goal. Didn't touch shaders at all. Don't really have anything that I can port back to the main game aside from the experience. So overall, a little bit disappointed in myself in this game jam. I feel like I did not really accomplish my goals. And yeah, I guess I'll talk about why. So shout out to Mo for the meme inspiration, but this is I think where it all kind of the issues all started was that I think the most obvious choice for like a game focused on like opening a bunch of like loot boxes and where you have birds that lay more eggs, like to me like it probably I should have just made an idle game where like you lay birds and then you get better birds and you unlock more slots for birds, something like that. But I don't really like idle games, so I didn't want to make an idle game. So instead, I tried to make some weird strategy board game with dice, because I had all those assets, and I paper prototyped it first, and so that's kind of how it ended up going. And yeah, this is what it looks like. Yeah, the game itself, basically, there's a map with tiles. You move around the map. Every time you move, you have to feed all your birds, and then each time you move, every bird forages a dice from the landscape, and then you give the dice to the birds to make them lay eggs, and then make them hatch those eggs. Basically, different combination of birds and what environment they're in create different birds. Yeah, and then you also sell them. I guess I should have had a screenshot of the selling, but actually I'll play the game real quick. Yeah, I did some sound effects that I don't love, but all right. So I got a bird. I give him a 3. He lays an egg. Boom. Now I give him a 5. Egg starts wiggling. I click on the egg. Ooh, shiny loot box. Boom, boom, boom. Click, click. And now I've got this dude. I can drag him to my nest, and we'll just roll some more dice. And yeah, now I give him some of these. Oops. We'll hatch another one, and we're just gonna sell this bad boy. See ya. And that's kind of the game. Like, yeah, there's like 9 different bird varieties you can discover, but they're all just kind of different colors. They're not as exciting as I wanted them to be. But yeah, I guess back to the presentation, kind of the game jam. What I learned here are kind of my takeaways. The biggest one for me, where I think I messed up, is I didn't really stick to my goals. I was trying to make like a game that I would enjoy playing, I guess, completely ignoring what my actual goals were for this game jam. And I think the game was okay. Like it's not bad, but it's not great. So for me, it was kind of a failure. So the biggest thing is that I think if I had stuck with my goals, even if I made something that's not great, like I still would have been happy with it because I still tried to do something new, or tried to do what I set out to do originally. Also, having something playable as soon as possible. With this game, I was kind of relying on multiple systems coming together to make something that was fun, when I think it would have been much better if I started with a fun core mechanic and built on top of that. So for me, I really should have started with just a loot box egg that you open and make that as exciting as I can. And yeah, those are kind of my takeaways from this game jam. I'm going to do another one next week, so I will be using all these lessons for that. Thank you very much. Any questions? Yes, Tepish?
What was the idea behind shader birds?
Like I wanted to make, like obviously you got to have like a all gold shiny bird, and then I don't know, like it'd be cool like if one was like on fire or something, or just like I don't know, like different kind of like effects where they're not just like flat colors, I guess. That would have been fun.
Not like birds completely made out of shaders, but like bird with...
Yeah, just a bird with like a cool, like some kind of motion, like that looks like, I don't know, like a holofoil card kind of, like those are like exciting, like, yeah, something like that.
Shiny bird.
Yes, Mo?
Did you record any of the sound effects?
Yes, I did. That was.
So I did hear you in some of this.
Yeah, that's me.
I thought it was professional.
Yeah, thank you.
Professional bird.
Yeah,
Is
Brian?
there any particular theme for the next game jam that you're going to do? Do you know?
Yeah, it hasn't been announced yet. It's a 2-week jam that's specifically for solo developers, so that fits me pretty well. And I like the 2 weeks sounds a little more relaxing. So, yeah. Yes, Lenta. It's called Ace Rolla Game Jam. It's some streamer. Oh, okay, you've heard it. Okay, nice. All right. Thank you very much, everyone.
Well, last string of the evening, last but not least, it's Jay to give us an update.
It's been a while. This is spoiler protection. That's me with the drawing that someone did. Yeah, last time I presented here, I don't know, some of you might remember, I had some back issues. Those are fixed, so that's great news. Yay! I mean, ongoing, but yeah, I can move again, so that's good. I just wanted to give like a short recap, basically, because there's a couple of new people in the house. So, what do? I work on Hotel Magnate, amongst other things. That's like a hotel builder, sim tycoon kind of game, where I do visual effects and make furniture, and then make more furniture, and make even more furniture. So there's like all of the models that are currently in the game, plus some more. Oh yeah, characters and character animations and more VFX for that as well. So what's new here is we had an update where we added spa and gym guests, and there was a lot of animations that we needed for that and some VFX as well. So yeah, rubber band machine. This was really weird because we had this on the list, rubber band machine. We're like, yeah, sure, I know what that is. What is that? What does it do? It's like this weird, obscure, like 60s fad. I don't know what it's supposed to do. But we have it in the game now. I made a fun shader as well for the whirlpool because we didn't really have, so we have like different hot tubs and jacuzzis and shit, but no water for that. But now we got the water and it's moving. Ooh. And then some more weird like VFX stuff for, I don't know, herbal body wrap. So a guest can come and lay down on the bench and then they get like a herbal cream thing applied. We needed to somehow show how that could look. I made fish for the fish feed spa thingy, which is just like super cheap texture sheet animation and then random colors, so it looks like it's all different fish. And it's only like this big on the screen, but I wanted to do it. I also work on Aquamundo. I don't know if some of you have met Glenn. Where I mainly do characters, or like up until now did characters and animations, and yeah, like same thing like with Hotel Magnate, different shapes for the characters because we're gonna have some variation there, and also some tech art stuff like baking all of the colors that we have into, I think you'll see it, yeah, now you see it, into one texture so we can change hair color and everything, and then recording gives the last second. That's always what happens. This is a little, how do you call it, foreshadowing for stuff I'm going to show you in a bit. And I finally got to do some environment stuff, like on the left side, that's, well, no, on the right, the old, like first try of how could the environment in this game look, because it's like very blocky and Lego-ish kind of. And I tried out, different styles with that before, so like on the, I wasn't really happy with the old trees, it was a bit too convoluted, so I wanted to make a new version of this, so the stem is a bit more clear. And I'm still working on that, but yeah, I just wanted to give an update on that as well. And then something exciting has happened, because for Hotel Magnate now, that was my main source of income for the majority of the last 2 or 3 years. And we're at the tail end of that project now, so I have more and more time and less money from that thing. And then I got the message from, some of you might have already heard it, whoa, it was Lena, and she was like, do you want to work with us? And I was like, yes, please. Because they need someone to do shaders. And so this was basically me last week. Like, I should have done some stuff, but it was really exciting to get into that. I mean, new projects are always exciting. This is something that I've not really done before, because this is for Broken Alliance. And yeah, I haven't really worked with pixel perfect shader stuff before. So I have some stuff that I need to show in Discord because the Google presentation doesn't want to show. Yeah, the idea is that they have different units and they can be corrupted within the game, and they should look like they're kind of like bending reality, glitching out, kind of breaking the fourth wall. And I did like a preliminary test with this thing. So this is basically faked. I just started out with figuring out if I can make a shader that offsets the pixels and like animated that by hand. But then a couple of days later, I actually made this a working shader. So it also distorts the actual sprite and like changes the colors a bit. And today was the day to put this in the actual project. And this is what I thought it would look like. Because if you change shaders, it's always, yay, everything breaks, but it actually worked. I was very happy, and I made the shader so that it measures the actual sprite, and because it needs to be pixel perfect, and that worked too, so I can just apply this to any unit that they have in the game, and they will glitch out like I want them to. So this was really fun to do, and I'm gonna continue on that, and yeah, probably show you more of that.
Can you full screen?
How do I full screen?
No questions.
You have to maximize Discord probably.
Or is it mad?
Yeah.
There we go. Yes, full screen. Hooray!
Oh.
Very nice.
Alright. Oh yes. Where's Matej? Where is he? Where is he? He's not there. He is. Thank you. Yeah, Matej helped me a bit with figuring out some of the pixel stuff, so I wanted to say thanks, and I'm probably gonna annoy him some more. Yes, that's it. Questions? Yes.
Did you Photoshop in Henry Cavill in the meme, or was that already a thing? Like,
That was a thing that I just stole from
Okay.
whoever did that.
I was also going to ask about that.
The important questions, yes.
The glitch effect, the one you had the first,
Yeah.
is that like in a Photoshop program or like?
It was like half of it was the shader that I'm still using, so like the color offset, that was the shader, but then what I did was basically change out the sprite every few frames in it, like it was a mock-up animation basically in
So
Unity.
it's like more of a fun animation than a shader.
Yeah, but just the first one, and then this was kind of for me to verify is this where we want to go, and then I posted this, was like, yeah, cool, let's go that, and then yeah, I did the rest with the actual shader. Yes. All right. Thank you.
Not a cult. Not a cult. Okay, I think that's. Yeah, you keep clapping like that. Okay. Thank you for joining us, everyone. Just keep clapping. This is definitely not a cult. If you want to support this cult, you can give us money on Patreon so that we can improve our cult structures. We're not a cult. You can join us again. This microphone is nearly peaking every time everyone claps. You can join us the same time next week so we can show you more of our stuff. Bye!
Bye.